least according to that.
Let's see.
It looks okay.
It's not showing my...
no, it's
not. Oh, that's
not.
okay. It's close enough.
Yeah, really.
Hi, everyone.
Hi, people. How are you?
You're reviewing What Remains of Laurie and Corey Cole.
Well, at least in your case, yes.
I wonder if we have any viewers, according to the bot. None.
Oh, well, we will find out or not. We will have people or not.
Mattereth not.
Yes. We will
We
just continue
do
this.
our thing.
Because that's what we do anyway. There we go. Tashtari is here. Hello, welcome. And Phantom Beaver, hello.
Hey, Tashtari, I just found a note from you from December that for some reason just popped into my feed today. Do I owe you a game key of some sort? If so, which one?
Yep, we will handle that.
Something about a Steam key.
Okay.
And hello, Phantom Beaver. Hello, Tashtari.
Yes.
Thank you for being the first, the Furious.
Yes, letting us know that you are here so that the...
Oh, it's possible that since it says stream offline that...
it does?
Maybe I need to do something.
And there's
here.
Brainiac. Yay.
Let's disconnect and reconnect.
You're going to reconnect? Doesn't that redo the whole thing?
Yeah.
Okay. In theory.
So
all right,
it says stream is
Tashtari has
offline.
not. Weird. Okay. We don't know.
Yeah.
At any rate, Corey is feeling miserable, so I get to do most of the talking today. Other than that, there's not much going on in our lives that's changed since the last time we did this.
But I am slowly getting better.
In theory, yes. Oh, I think I won an Uranus peace pin back in Aught 21, but that's it. Okay.
Do we owe it no, we didn't give you that. That was through
yeah.
the,
So
Roberta, I think.
Roberta was doing that, so if you didn't get it...
we can send you ours.
Yeah, well... But
we'd miss it.
We'd miss it. We'd kind of miss it. It's over there on
buy,
the wall.
We could buy you another one.
Yeah. No, it's fine. Okay. Okay, good.
Okay. Anyway, you said something about a Steam key and gave me an unusual email address.
Speaking of winnings, I got my copy of Collector's Quest
Zero!
Oh, okay. I didn't know we had a Quest Zero.
Yeah, Collector's Quest was the Stephen Emmons exhaustive thing about every release ever by Sierra.
My God, yes. That was an impressive set. Not particularly all that useful, but impressive. It's good for completists.
The question for Laurie.
What class specs do you main in World of Warcraft? It depends on the expansion, honestly. I have almost every character class, or species, at any rate, except for an undead anymore. I used to have an undead. I do not.
But first, she's a hunter.
Yes, first I'm a hunter, but mainly I've been maining druids because druids are so versatile. So, yes. And it's a Tauren hunter is the main, although I have the troll hunter, which was my PvP character. And I have a high mountain Tauren as my main druid. But since I have 20 alts that are all main level and highest level, and I'm leveling the other various alts, I have at least 50 characters in the stupid game. So, yeah. Brainiac. Won it in one of New Year's streams. Cool. Happy Saturday. Hope you're feeling better, Corey. Yeah. Well, oh well for that. Yes, coughing tends to make him cough. In fact, living tends to make him cough. So it's everything. Yeah. Brainiac says, still got a bunch of things I haven't gotten yet, but I really don't mind. Though I may see if I can finally get a piece of Bruce Bernays' art sent to a friend of mine, since I got this one to work out finally. Well, good. I mean, thank you very much. Lil Yajic just subscribed. Yay! For 33 months on a 32-month schedule. Hi there. Yes, welcome. Yes, I like Bruce Bernays' work. It's very good. And we really want to support our artists. All of the artists that, are out there, really. The ones that aren't the AI artists. The real people that need real money. Yeah, not a new subscribe, yes. And the Brainiac says, hopes you recover quickly, Corey. Well, we've been hoping that for a while now. Oh, that looks so good.
Did it?
Yes, it was the Christmas card from this year that we had. It really looked nice.
Yeah, I'm using that as the cover photo for the video.
Ah. The Christmas card?
Yeah.
What does it have to do with our video? Which one?
It was Christmas at the time.
Oh, okay, that one. Okay, fine.
And it was too pretty to take away.
It was too pretty to take away. It was a good one. Our art gets better and better as we go along. Or JP's art anyway. Let's be real. So we're... okay, Corey, we'll advertise our Patreon while we're at it. Okay.
Unless you click.
I'm trying to get to a
Yes, but
page.
if you click, I clearly cannot keep
can't
typing.
you? Yes, all right, fine.
What
Silly.
were you trying to get to?
I was trying to get to a page we could show. I don't want to show that one. I wanted to show a real page.
Play story time?
No, what's the current one? All right, that one. Yeah. So,
How do you know
get
it's
to
any
that
good?
page. It doesn't matter.
How do I get there?
You click on the name, the title, usually? That thing? No. Oh, yes. Okay, fine. There. Now you could show the pages. Uh-huh. And,
Did you want me to link this page then?
no, I thought that's what you were doing.
I was linking the main page.
Oh, okay, yeah, link this page. They shouldn't be on the main page.
Huh?
I mean, they shouldn't be on our page, Joss. Let's see, Phantom Beaver says, 10 plus years ago, just link that, yes. I had a nice moment in WoW, sometime during Cataclysm or Mists of Pandaria. I found a guild called Heroes of Gloriana, and instantly asked the GM if it's inspired by Quest for Glory. It was a nice evening chatting about Quest for Glory with a random person. Oh, that's cool. I didn't find that one. I've been in Order of the Stick, which was the comic strip that's on thing, and got to talk with people about that. So sometimes guilds are useful. So at any rate, there's our advertisement for the stream on our Discord. I mean, on our Patreon. So if you want to join our Patreon, you will get these notifications of what we're doing. Not very often.
And all sorts of interesting things
true.
there.
Yes,
We have Lori's buy the book. It's it is worth doing a $2 subscription to our Patreon just to read all the chapters of Buy the Book. Well,
listen to them.
Listen to them.
Yes. EGA Glory. Yes, we are doing the first. We're going to stream the Quest Heroes Quest again.
And I think this was a nice article I wrote last month and a half ago.
Yeah.
Blah.
That long ago? No,
Yeah, 6 weeks ago.
Yeah.
6 weeks ago, I wrote our first years at Sierra making Heroes Quest.
Yes,
I will be writing more of that, but I decided to be sick instead.
Yes, and that does sort of cut out on your creativity, I'll tell you.
Anyway, so that's kind of the place where we announce these streams and share stuff with everyone.
And of course, we will go with Discord as well, as long as we're advertising stuff, so that you can, make sure you get the full benefit of fandom here. Whoops. The man who killed the most people in history. I see.
Yes, that was the one I watched, but someone else linked it.
Okay.
That's a good one. Announcements. Okay, Transor Games. Invite Pitboos.
Okay, we will let you come to our Discord. Where is Arana where you need her? Yeah, I mean, although, honestly, if healing people isn't her thing as much, you need a good, a healing potion, really, what you need. You need Moira's healing potions from the Paladin class. Because they would certainly do it. Yeah. Brainiac linked that one, yes. Yes. Veritasium's videos are always worth watching, yes. Okay. Right. And you can show of course, the best page, which is the Penitentiary of the day. See if we've got anything.
Desktop.
Okay, go to Penitentiaries. Or you're up to date with it.
I don't know. I lost it.
There it is.
I am
there
up to date.
It is. The melange things.
You could read that.
All right. The entire Dune cycle is based on a terrible pun. The spice is called melange. The spice confers power and longevity. Melange is a
Melange
is a French word for variety. In other words, variety is the spice of life. Why does no one ever talk about this? Okay. Thank you, Datavar, for...
Oh, it's been talked about now.
Yes,
Don't
we
need to do
talked
it ever
about
again.
We'll never refer to that again.
Who's this? Is that the actress in Friends, Phoebe?
I don't know.
You know the name of the actress?
I didn't watch Friends, yes.
I'm guessing that her real name is the pun.
Oh.
Because
everybody was relieved.
otherwise, I don't get it.
Okay. Sorry. 50 is a lot of months. Yes, indeed. Thank you very much. Her name is Lisa Kudrow. So, okay. Thank you
Lisa
for explaining.
Kudrow.
We would never have gotten that one.
I have heard her name. I just am not.
Our references are not there. Yes,
I'm not a proper Friends fan community person.
Cynthia, you would. No, he would. Yes, well.
Oh, well, since they couldn't read the rest of it.
Yes, I turned my ex into a tree yesterday. Cynthia, you would. No, he would. Yeah.
OMG.
Yes. Okay, so you can see the types of very important things.
We can remove it, but it'll cost a fortune.
Okay.
I was moderately amused by this when I read it, and I didn't even quite
understand what you're saying.
I didn't even quite get that it was really a good pun.
Oh, okay, yes.
Or a joke. It's not really a pun.
The archipelago one makes me laugh. Okay.
Yeah. No man is an island. Oh, this guy comes close. Archipelago.
Yes. What a lucky man to have that name. Yes, indeed. At any rate, if you aren't on our Discord, you should join it just to get rid of the puns and contribute to
So I knew a bridge player in Santa Barbara who was the stereotype of the dissipated guy, scion of a rich family that really didn't have any money himself, and I had mentioned reading about Jim Lear naming his daughter Shanda, so she'd be Chandelier, and he said, "Oh yeah, she's a really sweet woman. I'm gonna marry her one of these days." And so
okay.
That introduced me to an entirely different way of looking at the world.
Yes, I see. One of privilege and expectation. Right. Okay.
And maybe he had money, but I kind of had the impression he didn't actually have much himself. But he was just from one of those
right family.
Blue
Cosmic
family.
Boy says good evening all. Welcome.
All right, Doc.
And Fatum Deeber says, in the next few days, Magic Map Studios, a fan-driven community, will have a special limited release of King's Quest VI music on vinyl. I don't know what would be required in terms of licensing for that, but it would be very awesome if you did something similar with the music of your game, starting with Quest for Glory 1 music and going forward from there. Do you think it would be possible, or the issue with rights too much of a hassle? Yes.
Yeah, it would not have anything to do with us.
Right.
It would
Somebody else would have to do it.
Somebody working with Activision.
And in fact, of course, you can go on the internet and you can find the
Is it Quest Studios or something?
Quest.
No.
What was it? Is it still there under Quest?
I'm not sure.
You can find our music there. Yes, and Aubrey took out a remaster of Shadows, but it's entirely digital, and making them in records are really, a limited audience. Yes.
Yeah, but they're very inexpensive to do now. I mean, you can make a short run of records for a couple $1,000s probably.
Well, that's relatively inexpensive,
yeah.
But shipping and handling will cost more than that.
Yeah, but if you get, say, 100 subscribers, you can testify.
Yes, I bought the Aubrey Hodges' thing on the day it released and cherish it dearly. Yes, Quest Studios no longer hosts their music collection, but there is another site archiving it. Thank you. I thought Quest Studios was down.
Yep.
Yeah. Thank you. There you go.
MIDImusicadventures.com/Quest Studios.
Thank you very much. Yes, everybody, you want to get your music fixes of the day, you can go there and get.
And it's a big, huge. Big, huge. Did they go away?
I don't know.
Huge studio.
Well, I think they lost rights, didn't he?
Big Huge Games, Wikipedia. They're now bighugegames.com. Oh, that's not even the same place.
No, it isn't.
That's a lot of people.
That's a big group.
It's big and huge.
Yeah, it deserves its name. Developer in Maryland. All right, so any rate, that's a big side thing. So everybody who's now on the stream will be at that link for the Quest Studios and be downloading their things.
All right, how about Chance Thomas Music?
Yes.
He
Okay.
has a Wikipedia page.
Yes, he does.
It is chancethomas.com.
Yeah, he doesn't have the rights to it
I'll
either.
show you what I'm flipping
That's
through
huge
here.
sound. Thank you.
Oh, Huge Sound, not Big
Yeah,
Huge.
yeah.
Anyway, I think Huge Sound is gone.
Yeah, I think that was the
there
one
was
he
a-
lost the rights to.
Yeah, there was a scam. I think Chance got scammed.
Yeah, or at least corporate shenanigans.
Yes, and basically lost the rights to his, creative work.
Isn't that
Now,
wonderful?
whereas we've never owned our creative work.
Right. Well, except when we did. I mean, we do own
What do we
Road
own?
to Redemption.
Oh, we own Road Redemption. We own the newest stuff.
And we own that music, too. So we can play that music whenever
Hey,
we want to.
you didn't
Yeah.
mention the important things like Quest for Glory.
No, he didn't have rights to it, of course. And besides, nobody knows about it. Yes. Chance did music for Lorder? Yes, he did. Online. So you'll probably want to listen to that too if you can get a hold of it. So yeah, we wish to support our musicians too in any way we can. I got an autographed copy of the Dragonfire soundtrack from him. Yes. Yes,
Oh, there's a
indeed.
Quest for Glory.
There is a Quest for Glory listed there. Yay.
It just isn't on the list.
Uh-huh. Well, the main lists, yeah. Okay, so at any rate, there's something else you can look in. He threw in 2 other soundtrack CDs as well. Well, that's so sweet. That is nice. So, at any rate, that's that's the commercial part of our discussion today, as we advertise the things that we're doing and things that other people are doing. Of course, the other thing we could advertise is the convention that's coming up this summer, which is
In Tacoma, Washington,
It's
sometime or other.
Tacoma, Washington.
Yeah, they have a Kickstarter that's just about to end.
Okay,
We
so
should probably find
if
that.
you have not yet done that, or if you give any care,
It is being put on by Hotspot, something like that. Hotspot.
wow,
That's hard to type.
it is.
Uh,
Let's Hot presents.
and we were supposed to do a promo
Thank
video
you.
for them.
Thank you for giving they're already the little Yasnik has
Yes.
given a link. Yes, we've got and Brainiac did this link, so fine.
Sis has 71 hours to go. That is approximately 3 days, slightly less. So you should seriously think about.
If you are
Backing
anywhere
this.
on this side of the world,
Yep, it is in Tacoma, Washington. That's the northwest corner of the United States.
in case you had no clue where
And
it was.
where Tacoma really is, it's the airport for Seattle.
Ah.
Is in Tacoma.
So it's Seattle virtually.
Yeah, SeaTac is the airport.
Okay, and we will be going there when we figure out what we're
And
doing.
they're going to have the Adventure Game Hall of Fame Awards ceremony that we've been casually. We were supposed to have had an official notification, but we got an offhand casual accidental notification that we've been nominated for that. Yay.
Yay.
I don't give us good odds, but it all depends on who's voting.
Add-on revealed the escape room with Ken and Roberta. You too can go to an escape room and talk to Ken and Roberta while they try to escape from him. That seems like a interesting approach to what things.
And they also have an
who's
LO
who?
escape room as
Look at
one of their
those
reward levels.
Who's who? Look at those people there. If you don't recognize,
Boy, I sure don't. They're all so old.
no, they aren't. I mean,
These
James,
ancient people. All right, Jane Jensen
that's an older photo.
has lost 30 years, but
Yes.
LO is who he is.
Yes, he's always looked like that, so that didn't
Is
change.
that, is that Dave Gilbert?
Oh,
Yeah,
no,
let's
that's
look like
the other one.
Tim?
Tim, I think.
Tim Schafer?
I think that's Tim Schafer.
I don't know. It doesn't
All right,
look like.
doesn't
Doesn't
say.
actually look like either
All
of them
right,
to me.
friend.
A bunch of people I don't
A bunch
recognize.
of people we don't know.
And,
Ken and Roberta.
Ken and Roberta.
Roberta.
Roberta, I don't recognize in this picture
No,
either.
I never know that was Roberta. Okay, it is Tim Schafer. Thank you. Yeah. I'm going to Convergence at the start of July. Hitting the other side of the country at the end of the month is a bit to ask. Yes, yes, indeed. It is indeed. Let's see. Yes. Lorelei Shannon and Ken Allen.
So they originally approached us on this as a Sierra reunion and getting together with fellow game developers, which we thought was sound like a lot of fun. You can talk more. And then they told us they're have an associated adventure game convention, and they're going to try to keep the reunion relatively private to the.
Yeah, so that we can actually talk with people. It's like, well, but we didn't talk to them then. What are we going to say now? It's like, oh, do you realize most of us are introverts? You know, most of us don't have anything we can say to other people.
It's about time we figure out who they are.
I guess so. At least we'll. Anyway, welcome anybody back to our. Now that we've gotten through all the advertisements, I think by now. Anything else? Anybody wants to do it? So yes, there is the album. Go check that out so that we make sure the King's Quest gets its thing. And what's that? Tim Schafer is looking very Jack Blackie in that picture. Yes.
But the next line.
Charles Cecil and Chris Jones are rounding out the bottom line. Okay, fine. I wouldn't have known either of them by sight.
No, but they're coming over from Europe, so.
Wow.
That's a big deal.
It is, huh? Okay. It is a long
I think there was some talk about helping us with expenses, but in practice, I don't think they'll have enough money to do that. So
not unless
we'll go up there anyway for fun.
Yes, because we are part of that. Reserve your right and get extras here. And why Kickstarter? Well, because something has to pay for this soccer. Yeah. Okay. So anyway, as I said, I'd hoped that was it, but anything else? Anybody else have something that needs to be advertised, that should be advertised here to this group? Because after all, we really want to support our community and everybody that's part of it. Yeah. Ha 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 ha. Thanks, folks. Yay. Well, I'm glad Adventure Game Hotspot, you made it to our talk. And yes, you can post things too if you want to keep this conversation going. I remember an old IF company that tried to set up a convention years ago, and it just didn't pound out. Yes, that interaction fiction.
Yeah, with Malench.
Yeah, I remember that one too. It actually got us into the conversation and into the start of the creation for Road to Redemption.
Oh, that's true.
Yeah, if it
was
weren't for that.
Well, we might or might not have done it.
We might not.
Because we'd already talked about doing it.
We had, but we weren't going to, and then we started, we got talked into, actually trying to do one of those with Malench, and found out he was a scumbag.
What? No, come on. That's a little exaggeration.
No, it wasn't. And so, therefore, the convention...
Rumor has it.
And so the convention never happened, and then the tools he was using to create interactive fiction was so primitive and yucky that we decided we could create our own. And that turned out to be not true. And so eventually we had to do the Kickstarter and actually create a real game rather than these weird variations. Yes. Yep, Malench. Yeah. Glad that came out of it then.
Yeah,
strongly reinforced and repeated rumor that perhaps he was not the best persons in the world. And we will say nothing more. But yes, he was going to really
New Jersey.
He was really going to do a big thing. There was a piece of dirt in your mouth. I was just trying to get it out, and it didn't.
It's one of your hairs, too.
Oh, okay. But on to more pleasant things. All right, more pleasant things like a rundown of, yet again, another variation of playing the Quest for Glory game, and hopefully we'll get through it. I will do more talking, and Corey will do more playing this time, which will help for making things go faster. We won't actually, perhaps, do a blow-by-blow account of what we're saying. Which game do you want to run? Ooh, so primitive. And then...
Maybe sound will work and maybe not.
Maybe not. Ah, yes. All right. And, yes, Adventure Gaming Spot.
But now it's too loud.
Oh, no. Well, we'll
All
have
right.
to turn it down. Yes, it's at 16. There. Oh, that's pretty good. All right, you can hear a music that some of you will find very nostalgic, yes. The speedrunners have been tearing into the games recently. A few other contributors are finding all sorts of new things. I'm glad. We're not actually showing the screen, so I suggest you try showing the screen.
Oops.
Yep. Yes.
That will break it.
That will break it. But it's still playing.
What?
He'll walk around. There's not much depth
I
in
thought it
this
was.
one.
I thought it was Control Enter. Oh, escape.
Nope.
Nope.
Oh, screw these up. I think you're going to have to kill it. Yep. We have killed it. We're good at this. Personally, I don't speedrun because even after playing a game fairly thoroughly, I prefer to take my time. But it's still fun to watch. Yeah, it's an entertaining thing, I think. It's more of a spectator sport than a participation sport because, after all, it can only go so fast, yes. Love One Short Eye and his speedrun videos. Okay, there you go, people. A new person to watch. You have nothing better to do with your life but to stay here and play these games very, very fast. And yes, we had to turn down the sound again. Okay, guess where we are now? Yes, which most of you had already known. We are playing a character. Bring up the character sheet so that they can remember. Oh yes, I was happy to contribute my voice to his first quests of the longbow video. Yay!
Mm-hmm.
The Black Keys of Peace is far superior.
And of course, S for sheet, not C for character.
Oh, okay. This is Ralph, in case you can't tell. Ralph is missing some stamina points still, even though he's been in here.
We spend the night here?
I don't think we spent the night. We just spent rested a bit. We've got our throwing up. We don't have any magic because this is a lousy character who has no climbing and no magic. And no lockpicks, so he's just a grunt. Really. Let's see. Time to climb some trees. Now, can't do the tree climbing either. The garden wouldn't exist without peace in the first place, presumably. Yes. The rock faces are, of course, whatever he said. So, yes, I said I wasn't going to blow by blow this, but rock faces are slippery with melted snow, and there is no need to climb this little tree. It is little in here. It gets much bigger in more recent editions. Eat the fruit. Your hunger has been totally satisfied. You don't need to do that.
Oh, so it saves rations.
It does. And it takes away your hunger. But it did not restore your stamina for whatever reason, yes. And Kid Ichoras says, Irana's peace music plays, and I'm a kid again. I thought you were going to fight.
Not an ogre.
Oh, no, not an ogre. Is that the ogre area?
Yes.
Oh, okay, fine. Let's see if we could not die. Oh, that is. He's right there. What do you know? That's a big ogre, and that creature, yes. The ogre is in a bad mood. Maybe this is not the best character.
And big.
Very, very big, yes. By the way, fortunately, it doesn't go far. And besides, we're kind of walking. We're sauntering through this woods in a way.
Tell
yes.
people about why
is that ogre never not in a bad mood? No.
You can talk about the ogre and why.
Oh no! There we go. Why the ogre? Well, ogres are supposed to be the bad version of goons. It doesn't look much like a goon though.
He's winning.
Oh no, he is, and you're gonna die. You better take a healing potion.
Can you do that in combat?
I thought so. Oh no, you can't. Then run away is probably the best idea. In the VGA, the tree does look bigger, but I thought the fruit from the tree also gave you some magic points back. I thought so too. It should have healed you all up. Oh no, run away, yes. The fans take this series more seriously than the creators do. Oh yeah. Bravely, brave Sir Robin, bravely ran away, indeed. Maybe the ogre just needs a hug. Yeah, you should try that, yes. Maybe he's mad because he's magenta, yes.
So,
yeah.
Talk about everything's dangerous away from town, and we're as far from town as can be.
We are as far from town. Well, we did talk about that last time.
I know. Talk about it again.
We are far from town, and therefore we gave you this safe space so that you could actually recover from
the point is that combat was too tough for us.
Well, it was, but also that was a special encounter anyway.
No, the thing we fought.
I thought we should have been good enough for that.
No, the brigands are very tough early on.
Okay, all right.
And because it is early in the game, we are not.
We have not actually gotten ourselves good enough to play this game yet.
And Control I, we have one healing potion. That's not going to do very much for us.
No, we better go find the healer and get a couple other, because yes, discretion is the better part of valor after all. Yes, and better to live.
Any potions, or did she give them?
She gave us one for the ring, any rate.
Three.
Control E is escape. Thank you. Yes, and let's see. Fans take this series more seriously than the creators do. You could get banned for mentioning Quest for Glory 4.5 on the Quest for More Glory games back in the day. But the Coles just start the game up and give their characters silly names and just play the game. Oh, it was a tough battle and you lost.
This was actually the best way to restore our health. Because we haven't gone very far, and we're now right back.
We've not done anything useful.
We're now right back at 27 out of 39 health points. But a goblin should be within our capabilities.
It should be if you were not almost dead, yes.
And, had no fighting experience.
Let's see.
Now, I am using that is not within our capability.
And we're talking about music, but the Quest for Glory 1 Uranus piece is the absolute number one, while in 4 there are multiple different amazing tracks, so it's hard to pick one favorite, yes.
It doesn't look like a special room. But...
and Auntie Azizi came in. And welcome. Let's see, and Brainiac says, if I recall correctly, Uranus piece was so good. Yes.
I accidentally clicked again when I got to the edge.
Oh no, run.
No, it stopped me. You could not escape. The battle was on.
Okay.
I'm going to escape anyway.
It's hard. Yes, you really need to get to the sides better than that. Mind you, Ralph from The Simpsons didn't help the case. Yes. Let's see.
Okay.
As someone with a friend named Ralph, how dare you say his name is silly? Well, I had a dog named Ralph, and I named him because he was kind of a lame, poor dog. It was so pathetic when he was brought to me as a puppy, but he turned out to be a beautiful dog. Let's see. I challenge you to find a medieval manuscript which mentions somebody named Ralph. Well, it has to come from somewhere. Does the Japanese name of Trevor Belmont Ralph count?
Is my name Ralph? My name is Ralph.
Yes, assuming the ego isn't Japanese. No. And yes, really, he's Ralph Belmondo in the Famicom original. Okay. Interesting.
There's a lot of territory to this game.
There is. And you have to figure out where you're going or you get totally lost. What do you know? Well, look what we found! Look. Trees look more vibrant. There's a ring of mushrooms in the northwest side of the clearing. Aren't they nice looking? Look at mushrooms. The ring of mushrooms contains mushrooms. What do you know? A ring of mushrooms
that are
slightly larger than the ones you're used to. I just mean, really, the Scandinavian name comes from the ancient Norse, which means wolf council, and was brought to pre-medieval England and became the Old English Redwolf. During the Norman conquest of 1066, the name evolved into the French Rolf. Okay. Oh boy, don't go eating those mushrooms. All right, name him. Yes, if you can get in the special characters and figure out how to do that into this format. Wolf Council. Yep, that's a wolf, all right. Yes, indeed. It's useful. I mean.
Did I eat a mushroom now?
Did you save? Yes. You ate a few of the lovely mushrooms. Wow, that was pretty wild. It's probably not a good idea to eat too many more of those mushrooms, though.
Look what our artists managed to do with that scene. And EGA graphics.
Look at that. Isn't that impressive?
And I, in fact, can't eat anymore because we can't see them anymore.
No, they disappeared. Can you move? You can. You can still move, but you didn't die. Your senses gradually return to normal. Okay, fine.
And that'll do.
Woo! All the pretty horses! Yes, indeed. Pretty ponies! Pretty paisley ponies. Okay. Yeah, I don't think AGI could handle special characters. I could be wrong, though. No, I don't think so.
AGI.
If you eat them again without eating the kobold's mushroom first, you die. Okay. Oh, look. I also like the stoner moment in Quest for Glory 3 as well. Yeah, well, important safety tips. Yes. How did you make the switch of colors? Did you invert them or use some kind of mask? I believe they were inverted. Or did they redo that whole scene? Okay. You are in the Meeps Peep. I didn't know we called it a Meeps Peep. These colorful furry meeps timidly pop out of their holes from time to time. And there's no sound for them. They really should have had a sound. Look at me. You see blue meeps, purple meeps, and then occasionally a green meep. They seem to be very shy. Whenever you approach one, it hides under its rock. I wish you could have gotten some special brownies from Salim and Julinar in Quest for Glory 5. Just one bit of color cycling. Yeah, we could have done that. Although the joke's getting a little old, but yes, it should have been. Really, just because rule of threes, it should have been there. This is SCI, bro, not AGI. I wasn't going to correct you until it turned out even Lori didn't know. Well, the assumption that you can't do special characters in AGI is still correct. Whether or not this is AGI or EGA or VGA, that's still a fact. Yes. I love the meeps. Hug meeps. Yes. I'll reiterate my response to name every meep from the Quest for Glory book green and not. Okay. Large, heavy-looking rocks cover the many holes. The meeps must be stronger than they look to lift these rocks so easily.
We are mighty warrior.
We are mighty warriors. And in fact, the meeps were pretty much would have been a throwaway one-off character. Oh, yeah. Okay, we found the green meep, but there's a sound. There is a sound. I couldn't hear it. And I see. It's his hand. He's holding. I see the orange hand. So he is literally holding that rock down, so you can't pick it up. Okay.
We should get stronger from this, but I doubt it.
I don't think so.
It's probably not programmed.
Right. Wizards of the Coast has a Universe versus Beyond series for the new Magic the Gathering sets, and it includes universes like Lord of the Rings, Fallout, and Doctor Who, but I'm still waiting for the Quest for Glory expansion. Yep. It looks like you're bashing the green meep on the head with the rock. Oh, hiya, pizza, please, not meet ya. Because green meep. You don't need to use the word greet. Hi. Talk to me. All right. We are happy meeps living in our happy holes. Don't worry. Be happy.
One of my few contributions to the dialogue.
Yes, Corey's dialogue day. No. Please don't let Hasbro near Quest for Glory. That's what rocks. We use rocks for doors. They keep us warm and dry. Or dry and warm if you actually read the words as they were written. I don't. So, there used to be a comic series called Dial H for Hero where the protagonist was a blonde kid. Blonde seems to be associated with being a hero, whereas superheroes always tend to have dark hair. That's an interesting point. Yes, Batman, Superman. It's easier. Yeah. But blonde, Well,
we don't know anything about.
we don't, do we? No, we don't know yet. It's interesting to watch people first time this game and see the conclusions they draw. Yes. One streamer I saw figured they needed to increase their strength stat to pull the rock off the meat. Then that's perfectly reasonable. Yes, that's a good...
All right, this is how combat is supposed to go against goblins in the early game.
Yes, indeed. Yes. We've already got it.
Left click on it. Can't right click.
Okay. All right. Search body. You search your opponent. You find 5 silver coins.
Wow.
Yes. That was a rich goblin. A veritable kobold's fortune is what we
7
used to
gold
call
and
these.
29 silver. Might be able to afford more healing potions.
Yeah.
You're supposed to heal up naturally over time, but it might be too slow.
Do you know how many copies of Quest for Glory 1 sold? Quest for Glory 1, not so much.
Well, Hero's Quest. Ooh, there's a stag.
Yes, a white stag, and it actually looks lovely. Before it leaves the stage, look at the white stag takes a mighty leap off the screen.
Let's follow it.
Hero's Quest sold over 150,000 copies, was it?
Well, it was over 100,000 in the first month.
Okay.
Which we were told was a record for Sierra at the time.
And that we got the...
And that we suddenly got told that we were going to make Heroes Quest 2 because originally that was not in the plans to be done right away.
No, we had a plaque that said we'd sold it.
Yeah, so it was a certified gold, which is 100,000 sold. But I was told that the VJ version sold over 250,000 copies.
Really? Okay, that's really good.
Or at least the two together did. I think the VJ did.
Let's see. And Phantom says, I'm reading. Oh. Yes, I am reading. Yes.
Reading the wrong one.
Generally, I agree, but Hasbro. But having actively played the Lord of the Rings inspired sets, they include some of the best cards and card arts I've ever made. So I'm happy to see them explore Quest for Glory in that manner as well. Cool. I'm impressed that they did it. Of course, Bruce Bernays does Magic the Gathering cards. So yeah. If I see an Arana Planeswalker card, I'm likely to have an aneurysm. Sorry. And I'd be curious to know how it fared on GOG Steam. Yeah. Per an article...
yes, we know about that too. In the early days. Okay, so when we were... had just done the Kickstarter for... I think after we done the Kickstarter for Hero U Road Redemption, we went to... E3 in Los Angeles and met a representative from GOG Games there. And he told us that the Quest for Glory collection was their best-selling game on their site at the time. So I don't know what's happened since then, but they were very excited about carrying Rogue Redemption as a result. And they've done very well for us in sales on Rogue Redemption. A very substantial percentage of Steam sales, which we're hearing from other game developers. Generally, their games do not do as well in GOG.
Yeah, and Brainiac says, per an article from 1991, the original sold about 130,000 copies in its first year.
Possible.
That's as
or possibly more.
It's hard to tell, but yes, that seems reasonable. And I bought it in both. One can never have too many copies. No. You cannot. And besides, it supports the people that actually tried to make the game.
It's a very dramatic and
I know, and therefore we're skipping it. No,
I'm not playing. I'm not going to play if you're not going to talk.
I know, so I'm going to continue to read, and then we can go back into the spirit of the game. Okay. All right. I almost bought the PC edition of Colossal Cave 3D from Limited Run, but the fact it was only a USB stick turned me off. Might wait for more expansive physical collector's edition. Okay. And having played BBS door games, I think interactive fiction should have been more like those. I don't know what's a BBS door game as opposed to a BBS role-playing game or that.
No, it's basically I think they're usually turn-based games that you played over a bulletin board.
Well, at any rate, somebody will tell us. But we played role-playing over BBS. And
I mean, some of the
we
mods.
set some really interesting characters on that, yes. How can I be the only one who's played a BBS door game and not you? Sierra ran a BBS. Oh, did it?
Yes, but we don't know the term door game.
It's the door game.
We probably know what they are, but we don't know the term.
Yeah, because yes, we have played things forever. The presence of a lone dryad here in a dramatic set is somewhat odd. Yes, indeed. So glad Quest for Glory 5 had a whole grove in the Grecian setting. Yes. Well, the reason why there's a dryad here out of context and everything else was because we were throwing the kitchen sink at this game because there was no real hope that this would be the series that we proposed. And we wanted to get in all of the tropes and all of the good parts of fairy tales and mythology that we could.
That's burning out all of our creativity in one game, so that by the time we got to Quest for Glory 2, there was pretty much nothing left.
Nothing left to do, right. Yep. All right, so let us get back to the context. You followed this stag into a forest corner. You feel as though the eyes of the forest are watching you.
It's evocative prose.
Ah. And that lovely stag with Jerry Moore, I think, did that one. You watched the stag, fascinated with his grace and beauty. There's something special about this place. And the stag turned around and looked, maybe honestly, that might have been a Ken Nishaway, because it's not
I think it's an Nishaway.
Yeah, it's awfully realistic.
I think that's an Nishaway.
You're in a strange and beautiful part of the forest. There is something special about this place. Yes.
Remember, Ken's specialty before he came to Sierra was wildlife art.
Yes, he was. He did beautiful painting.
An amazing eagle.
Uh-huh. And other than the fact, I would argue with him about certain animals that he was insisting were not the same, were not right, and he had to be right.
I wonder if we're going to scare the stag if I go over there.
We'll find out.
Ooh.
Oh, no!
You looked up at me.
Would. No. I am the dryad.
Now, if someone asks you, are you a god?
Say yes. So, if somebody asks you, are you one with the woods? I guess I should have a deep voice for that. Then you shall aid me, and I shall aid you in your quest.
Maybe not the right answer. We might have just been given more work.
Could be. Bring me a seed from the spore-spitting spirea of the north, that I might plant it elsewhere, in order to preserve these rare and magical plants. We have seen the spore-spitting spirea in this version of the game, so we actually might have a clue what she's talking about.
Bring me a shrubbery!
Yes, thus you will become a true friend of the forest.
And I will turn you into a shrubbery.
Yes, there she is back there, nicely melded back into the tree. Yes, all right. All right. I don't think there's much you can do. Okay, so Arlo says BBS door games were played all over the BBS, like an early internet game almost. You would sign on and choose a name for yourself, and it would remember your stats. Okay, you could typically only do so many things each day, and then when you ran out, you would have to come back the next day. Literal days, not in-game days like in Quest for Glory. They used ANSI graphics, so it was a little like the graphics made of text characters, but with different colors. Rather than typing look door or something, you had a menu. You could go out and smell the forest. What do you think this is? Space Quest? Okay. You could look for monsters, or you could visit places in town like the local tavern or someplace. They typically had some adult humor, like being able to sleep with a cute girl at the tavern or something. I had not seen these games really. Whenever folks always say the oasis has to be an Arana construct, I always remind them of the Dryad clearing here. No Arana association, but definitely a special place. And I believe a safe sleeping spot as long as you behave. Precisely. I mean, the world, there are other things in the world besides, Arana saving the day. And throw rock.
At what?
At what? You're just throwing it. But there, I see... Oh no! Multiples!
This one moved.
The bush moved?
Yeah.
Okay, so they are hiding all over this screen.
This one came right up to me, but I can't do anything with it.
Oh well. fighting monsters in the forest. So like you could type A for attack and it would randomly decide if your attack was successful based on your hit points and experience. Cool. Or you could type R to run away, and your new quest would randomly come up as you explored the forest, and you could just type E to do. It wasn't like all these specific rooms like in Quest for Glory. Interesting. No,
That's annoying.
Yeah. Are you one with the woods? Hero launches into Werner Herzog monologue about the horrors of the Amazon. Okay. You see, a goblin, a small but dangerous humanoid, yes. And,
Christy March never got to finish her Conquest series. Nah, were there more planned? I don't remember.
I think there were. I don't know what went on there, honestly.
Camelot, Conquest of the Longbow.
Yes.
I don't know.
I suddenly feel the need to re-watch the Dryad animation for both this version and the EGA version and compare them to the Green Man animations for Conquest of the Longbow. That is a different art team, so it should be pretty different.
I'm not very good at throwing rocks, am I?
No, you aren't. The Goblin is obviously a fan of Metal Gear Solid, yes.
Alright, well, they're not going to attack us.
And were there more planned? I don't know. She said she wanted to do a Charlemagne era one as well. Okay, there we go. It wasn't... Oh, boy. Guess what we found?
This looks spooky.
Looking around, you get the feeling this is not a very friendly place to be. And this is a discussion point that I really did want to have in the course of it. Yeah, it was meant to be a trilogy. I forget the final one was supposed to be Hannibal or something. Yes, the Conquest games were great too. Yes, okay, guess it was Charlemagne. Ooh, I bought a bonehead skull! Haha, yes. Look at Skull. It's an animatronic 3D moving talking skull. Oh, fun. Wonderful. Alright. So, Baba Yaga does not welcome strangers. You have to deal with me before you can enter. All right, let's have a big aside on the origin of Baba Yaga as Corey steps out and gets a drink. And
this is your lecture.
This is my lecture. Yes, we will lecture. Okay, so aeons ago in the Dark Ages, the first encounter I really had with Baba Yaga was in the magazine A Boy's Life, which was the Boy Scouts glossy magazine that used to come out, I don't know, every so often. And since my brother was a Boy Scout, we got a copy, and I would read that thing from end to end. And they had a couple of stories about Baba Yaga, or at least a series, as far as I can remember. And she had this familiar that was a cat. And it was very, very entertaining, and I never forgot that. And it was very well illustrated, too. That was a great magazine at the time. It was well worth reading. So, the other place that Baba Yaga for me came from was the old fairy tale books, the colored fairy tale books by Andrew Lang. They were like the blue fairy tale book. And the traditional stories there were quite a few where Baba Yaga took place. But my favorite was about the time noisy. I'm gonna have to. I don't want to keep having to listen to that. Let's see. Can we escape? What is it to get up there? All right. Let's look at our inventory. Didn't do it. I'm not good at this. Or my care sheet. How about care sheet? There. The music starts again. It stays over this. Okay, fine. Let's try this again. Let's go to a saved game because this is a good place to save. All right, there. And it doesn't have any music. Good. Yes, Baba Yaga is ubiquitous through the Slavic folklore. One of the main characters. So yes. So when we're okay. My favorite fairy tale, which was a fairy tale rather than maybe a folk tale so much, was about this young girl who her father remarried. She had a stepmother. What do you know? And the stepmother had her own daughter, and they were about the same ages. And so therefore the stepmother abused the poor heroine of this story and sent her out to go get a job with Baba Yaga. And so this poor girl has to make a journey through the forest to go to Baba Yaga's place. And as she does so, she meets animals along the way. She helps an ant, for instance, and she helps a fox, for instance. She helps these animals, and then she gets to Baba Yaga, and Baba Yaga basically gives her about 3 impossible tasks to do. And the animals that she befriended come and help her do it.
That she'll eat her if she doesn't do
Yeah,
it?
so I don't remember what. Probably there was a threat, but no, she doesn't threaten her. She says you need to do these to get what you need, or get from me. And so therefore, she does these tasks, impossible tasks, and Baba Yaga sends her home, and her gift to her is every time the girl opened her mouth, a gold coin would fall out. So the girl goes home and tells her mother what happened, and all these gold coins came falling out of her mouth, and her mother says, "Oh, my dearly darling daughter, you have to do this." So she sends her crummy, nasty daughter to Baba Yaga's house, and she's going to the forest, and this girl sees an ant drowning. Who cares? Fox in trouble. She doesn't help anybody, and as a result, when she gets to Baba Yaga's, Baba Yaga gives her those tasks, and she says, "Well, I'm not going to do this stuff." And so after the 3 weeks or whatever, however long she's supposed to be working, in which she did nothing, Baba Yaga again gives her the flame or whatever she's supposed to take home to her mother, and then gives her a gift. And every time this girl opens her mouth, a frog and a snake and all sorts of nasty things come out. So that was one of my favorite stories. I mean, it's a justice, definitely justice about that thing. You get what you get for what you deserve, for what you behave. So that is where I started out with the idea for Baba Yaga. Of course, the other big influence was Madame Mim from Sword in the Stone, or more appropriately, The Once and Future King, which, if you haven't read The Once and Future King, you should. It was the influence for both, The Sword in the Stone, the Disney movie, animated movie from ages ago, which also was a small children's book, which was a very good children's book. But the Once and Future King became Camelot. And so I thoroughly recommend you actually reading that book, because it's influential to so many things. But Madame Mim, of course, had the magical battle with Merlin. And in certain respects, Erasmus was, of course, influenced by Merlin too. And Merlin, who was living life backwards, and the tea scene where he meets Arthur Wart, that was calling him Wart at the time, is just charming. So I really recommend that book. And so therefore, all of those things came together to make Baba Yaga, because we really wanted to. You want to sit down again?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. We really wanted to have a character that was nuanced.
Yes, on the surface a villain,
Yes.
but there's much more to her.
Yes.
So you talked about how helping the animals, that they came back and helped you.
Yes.
Okay.
That was the important.
Yeah. So that's a very important fairy tale trope.
And that was one we had in here. And the fox doesn't actually come back and help you when you help the fox, but he
No.
gives you some important information so that you have some context.
And you get points, I think.
And you get points, yes.
And it's the right thing to do.
It is the right thing to do.
So the important thing about that is that basically all those helpless animals you meet are a test of character. It would be very easy to kill them and eat them, for instance, or squish the bug or whatever. But by helping them, you're showing that you are a good-hearted person.
And that is some of the best of the Slavic fairy tales have that theme of helping somebody that did not, you had no reason to do so, but you went out of your way to help. There would always, goodness would be rewarded. Okay, so about Charlemagne, sounds very similar to King Arthur, but it would be interesting to see what kind of references to Quest for Glory, given that in the legend, Charlemagne's highest knights were called paladins, yes. The term derives from the Latin Palatine, name of the Palatine Hill, where the Roman affairs were administered, and the Vestal Virgins kept their temple and houses. I feel like there's some very rich details for backstory about paladins here. I heard that paladin did not come from that so much as it came from the Arabic term for a noble warrior, and it was paladin. And so I'm not.
Saladin was a person who was
a
mighty warrior sort of thing.
Okay. And Granny is a very elemental figure. Her teeth are iron, her legs are wood, and she makes coal lumps of the skulls in her house. Iron, coal, wood, like the land itself. Oh, and yes, the girl is Vasilisa.
Vasilisa.
Yeah, there we go. Finally. Yes, Vasilisa. Yes, that's the fairy tale that is. I read it in the fairy tale books, but I've also read it in Slavic mythology stories. Yes. I read a variation in the story in a volume of Grimm's fairy tales, but without Baba Yaga, and was a dwarf in the Baba Yaga's place. Yes, so you could see these stories were oral, and they changed as they went along. And besides, Grimm rewrote his tales. The Grimm brothers basically wrote a lot of what they had. They were not exact oral interpretations. Okay.
And Baba Yaga traditionally was not actually referred to as a witch.
Yes.
She was just a very powerful
ogre. Ogre was a term they used over there.
Ogre?
They
okay.
did over there, but but she was an elemental creature. And yes.
We also had some good friends right before we started making Heroes Quest who were Wiccans, and so we didn't want to offend them by using witch as a negative.
Of course, she looks like a witch.
She looks she looks like a Disney witch.
Yes, so we didn't want people to.
And the snoozing guy in the Adventurers.
Oh, the Adventurer Guild Master.
Yeah, the Adventurer Guild Master does call her a witch in his sleep at one point.
Oh, okay. But that's because that was probably written by Bob
Fishbach.
Bob Fishbach, rather than okay. I remember, it says Brainiac, that story getting adapted by Bruce Covell for his Magic Shop stories. Cool. I did not know that. Talking frogs born from the other sister's curse were major characters in that. Oh, interesting. I had not heard that variation. Yes. And Little Yasnik says, I'm pretty sure Merlin copied Erasmus. Yeah, right. Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yes, indeed. They're very similar. Yeah. And I've always been fascinated by Merlin ever since I was 16, inspired by this game, actually. It's the reason I finally tracked down the site of the Battle of Ader...
Familiar is the Fenris?
Or Aderrin.
Where?
I'm trying to figure out what is the
double...
No, the double D. Is that a TH?
I don't know.
Arderith or whatever.
Something like that.
Yes, and the Sacred Spring, which in legend gave Marathon his powers last summer. Okay. And Baba Yaga is helpful in some stories and evil in others. Yes, really.
Oh, really? You can't type Merlin in QFT2 to choose a sponsor, but it recognizes Merlin with a Y? That's weird. I was pretty...
Okay.
I was pretty certain it
And Arlo is saying the double D is TH in Welsh, yes. It corresponds to the modern day Arthurite. Okay.
Arthurite.
All right. So,
I see.
Any rate, that is why we had Baba Yaga. And the nuances was that, everybody thinks she's the villain. They think she's evil. And they treated her as evil. And as a result, well, look at all those lovely skulls on her fences.
But if you're Vasilisa and you don't have a strong ego and no preconceptions, and you come up and you treat her with respect, and, she says, okay, we'll see if you mean that.
Yeah. So, here's Baba Yaga here, and she has had guards sent after her, and she's had an insufferable
son of a baron
sent after her. Good, yes. So therefore, she's not very pleased with her reception here, and so therefore, she says, tit for tat. First of all the soldiers that came to kill her are now skulls on her fence, except for our center character, Bonehead, who is not exactly one of those soldiers. He is unique. And she cursed the Baron for all his foolishness. And that set everything in motion here. And she did go out of her way to steal his daughter. But that was just, in response to all this. Remember, you do not go, whatever you do to a chaotic, neutral, evil character is not going to, reflect back very nicely at you. It's going to only get worse.
Do not go into Smaug's lair and tease the dragon.
No. So at any rate...
Double kind of did.
He did.
And with bad results.
Bad results, yes. Although, I don't think there could have been any good results in that situation. Okay, there we go. The hut is a strange little house perched on chicken legs. Talk to Skull. Oh, yeah, I guess one tough magic user. If you're so stupid that you want to enter, perhaps we can make a deal. All right.
Not sure we want to at the moment, but we could ask about it.
All the other skulls have glowing eyes, but me? No! I don't need lovely glowing eyes. Just open and close the gate. That's all I'm good for. But if you can get me a glowing gem for my eyes, I'll let you in the gate. That's okay. We could give him his... We have the gem in inventory. We could give it, because then you have to figure out how to get in there.
Well, is it a deal or isn't it? Sure.
I don't think that works, does it? Ah, a deal is made then. A glowing gem in exchange for the opportunity to see Baba Yaga herself. Yes.
Okay, the important question is time.
No, I'm saying you have to figure out the rhyme to get it open, so you can get.
The important question is time.
Okay.
I do not want to go into that house late in the day.
I'm saying you can't get into the house.
Oh, okay.
Because we don't have a message, how to get into the house yet. The glowing gem. What do you know?
Look at that.
Because we got rid of some apples. And placed the glowing gem inside the skull. Ah!
Cool.
Blink, blink, blink. I can see. I have eyes again.
Might have been a bad idea.
Maybe. Yeah. Is that what you look like? Oh well.
Not nearly as cute as Vasilisa.
Have fun visiting Baba Yaga, and good luck. You'll need it. I hope you can remember the rhyme.
And of course he's gone.
Yes. You get no response. Therefore, yes. So that's why I said it wasn't a problem. We will continue to wander.
We're already at 101 and 500.
Wow, that's pretty good. What time of day is it? Oh, it's mid-afternoon?
It's mid-afternoon.
Okay, fine. Ah!
I don't think we can take a Saurus. We can try. Or
Did you
allow
say-
for...
No, probably. I'm not seeing any reference to Arabic on the Wikipedia entries for Paladin. Not to challenge you, but out of curiosity, where did you hear that? I heard that in a fiction book that was written in the 30s, I believe, and it was about a paladin. So that's where I heard it. So it's hard to tell. I mean, it's a fiction. Not a waste, no treasure, but you did kill it, huh? Cool. We're getting good.
Now, all those red numbers are ones that have changed since last time we looked at the character sheet.
Yes, our health points are pretty sad right now. We need to go back and
Yeah, but I'm looking at the positive side. Our weapon use is up, our strength is up, our intelligence is up.
Well, we haven't parried or dodged nearly enough.
Now, this is all in a feedback system and a practice makes perfect system. So as you fight and use your weapon use goes up. But our initial stat for your weapon use was just a number, but it was partly based on your strength. And we know that in order to fight, you need strength and agility. So therefore, as you improve your weapon use, you slowly improve your strength and agility. And as you get hit and take damage, Your vitality is supposed to change, but it doesn't look like it has. That's weird that that's the one that hasn't changed.
Right.
But anyway, so yeah, everything's in a feedback loop like that. If you climb, it'd be the same thing, strength and agility. But if you throw, it'd be purely, I don't know, whatever.
Tosh Tari says, in Quest for Glory 2 version 1.105, okay, the game spells it Merlin, but recognizes Merlin as a synonym. So somebody did correct that. I did notice that Saladin's name sounded similar, but I also never heard of a connection. And Roadwork says, these days I imagine the hero covered in goblin entrails probably doesn't look that appealing, so maybe there's a reason why the skull says, yeah.
Good point.
Yes.
Good taste.
Yes. And one of the peers was an Arab convert to the right, too. Yes, it was an Arab convert, yes. As well as one of the Knights of the Round Table. I think so. I'm literally searching for Arab on the Wikipedia page and nothing comes up. Fairabas is the Spanish Muslim who becomes a peer. Okay. Get in position for a good throw. Okay, because, this is the problem. All right.
And this is in order to make the animation sync up reasonably. It
Yes.
just spat the seed to itself. And, of course, our rock goes to a random place. Get rocks. I think we can get rocks here.
I wouldn't take Wikipedia as a definitive source. Well, it's a good start for anything, I think.
So this was designed to be a puzzle with, class solutions. So rogues are good at climbing, so they can climb up to it. Magic users have a spell that's appropriate.
Wikipedia does have a page for him, which confirms what you're saying. Thank you.
For Saladin?
No, I don't know which one.
Or
Agree, it's not definitive.
Roland.
That's the best you got if you haven't read a book on it, yes. And then again, books aren't all that necessarily accurate either. So.
Orlando Furioso was was it a book or was it an epic poem originally? I think it was a novel about a knight of Charlemagne that becomes mad with grief and basically goes crazy and starts killing everybody.
People got mad in the old books a lot. Yeah. I mean, in Arthur's...
It's teasing me.
He is teasing you. It's just definitely... Lancelot goes crazy.
That was closer.
Arthur goes crazy. They all go crazy at some point. It's very sad. And lots of people get killed, yeah.
Okay.
Wikipedia is pretty good, yeah. But it isn't perfect. But people do a good job of keeping it honest. Or at least everybody should try and do a good job of doing it, yes. Times were tough. People went crazy. Yes, you too could be a madman or a hermit. Yes.
Ooh! Look what happened.
Oh, you got it! What? Oh, and look at all those seeds are now, all spores are open. Because, there's no seed to take.
Or probably just killed the ecosystem. That was the evil dryad's real intention.
Could be. I figured
she didn't like those
they'll
seeds.
grow another one some year.
So note our stamina points are down to 9 out of 37. I didn't check it after combat, but I think all that rock throwing has probably tired me out.
Yeah, but you have increased in your throwing skill, yes. And if you made it past the age of 40 to 50, people thought you were crazy. Well, there's that. I mean, age is wisdom. I've been playing Gwent recently, and the dryads in that are a bit less good. Hostile, you can't afford to do that. Not this. You will die.
Especially when I misspell E and hit Control W. Oh.
Why did you lose it here?
Maybe it'll have gone away by the time I get there.
Oh, one way. You're not running is your problem, too.
Well, I'm not running because I have no stamina.
South.
I'm trying to get to Ron's piece.
Oh, okay. Yay.
still
Arlo
not hungry.
says, I'm fascinated about Merlin is that he really did go crazy, and we have poetry which still survives from him. He apparently imagines being an invisible apple tree out of a psychological defense mechanism to survive the extreme hunger, and imagines carrying on a conversation with a forest pig out of extreme loneliness. But these may have been laid the foundation for a legend about a great wizard. Correct. Yeah, I mean, all of these things are probably. And then again, people lived in caves. In those caves, the oracles were supposed to be gas leaking up the caves that made them spout these prophetic things that, or at least things that people interpreted as prophetic. Sunset approaches on day 3. This is.
Is that late enough? It is.
Yes, it is.
I was able to rest just long enough to get to nighttime.
You wake as the sun begins to rise. Yay, it's day. You have recovered.
Health points 44 of 44.
Good.
So why didn't it work before? You had said it. We didn't get any
You
under
had to
health.
sleep all night. Yes.
I guess so.
Yes.
Let's see if it'll let me eat. Yeah.
All right. And have you read Tolstoy's book about it?
Maybe I'm never be hungry again.
Maybe not. You'll be stuffed. I think you have to leave the room before.
And then suddenly I'll be starving.
Then subsequently you'll be absolutely starving.
Oh, you mean that this game is based on me?
Oh, yeah. If this was answered, I missed. Was it always intended for the fruit to disappear on and off, or was that a graphical limitation? They don't do the same in the VGA. Yes, it was intended.
It's supposed to vanish and reappear. Yes.
Yes.
And that shows it's magical.
Yeah, there was a thought initially that you would play whack-a-mole there, trying to catch the fruit, but we decided it wasn't worth it. Because we did it with the meeps, so we didn't need to do that.
And if we had been allowed you to pick the fruit, you would have given it to the giant. That might have made him too powerful. So
no,
he might have been able to make magic brew from it.
Oh no! Oh no!
What do you mean? Oh no! Let's kill it! Wait. Rage. So this idea of the combat system is you had your 4 principal arrow keys, and that it was supposed to have dodging and parrying and stuff. And many players soon discovered that the way it was programmed, that by far the best strategy, quote unquote, the best tactics were to stab.
It was,
So that's what I've learned from my players.
yes. But you really should do the other things because we need to get those skills up because we want to really.
But since I accidentally got here by ask about time.
You want back in. Hey, it's your life. The rhyme is, Buddy Brown, now sit down. Yes.
And it's morning, so we could do it
Yes.
because we're.
Have you read Tolstoy's book? That question was to the calls. Did you read a Tolstoy? I only read a Tolstoy play, I believe. You read more of that because you had that European.
I read some Tolstoy. I don't think I finished any of his books.
No, we're
the brothers Karamazov was that Tolstoy? And it was War and Peace.
No. Let's see. We're talking. Dostoevsky.
Dostoevsky. Oh, you're making me wonder.
I used to think getting the rhyme from Bruno was the right way to do it. Anna Karenina. Yes.
You can tell me a poem.
I'm trying to remember. How does it start?
Okay, it goes higgledy piggledy.
Anna Karenina messed up her marriage consorting.
Consorting with counts.
Consorting with counts. Ensuing pregnancy, unmatrimonial.
Brought tears.
In rivers.
In dribbles.
In dribbles, then
rivers, then founts.
There you go.
That was something we read in
double dactyl.
that was the double dactyl rhyme competition in the Mensa Bulletin one year.
Yes, so that's how we know Anna Karenina. Not because we bothered to read the book or watch the movies, but because we know that.
Because that's one of the greatest.
Greatest double dactyl rhyme. Yes. But there are multiple solutions, are there? We try to.
Now, this is kind of...
Was the idea of paladinhood already there in Quest for Glory 1, or was that an innovation in 2? Well, since I associated paladin with Arabic, therefore it was always intended for 2 more than 1. Yes.
All right. Are we going to start in the Java quest line, which will put us on timer? Might as well.
Well, I'm trying to think. I don't think we need to yet, because... no, I would not. We need to get tougher. We need to be able to fight that ogre. We need to see the kobold. Oh, and we need to get that seed back to the dryad. So these are things that we should be doing. Seed to the dryad is probably the...
I don't know why these aren't attacking us.
Do a dodge. Nope, too late.
Yep. Did somebody say that?
Wow, you threw that dead goblin a long way. You get silvers again.
My health is down to 14.
We need
I actually did a whole series of simulations in the combat to try and get them balanced. And the idea that I came up with is that you should always be able to win a combat your level. You can fight a goblin or maybe a basic Saurus. Excuse me. And win, but you would lose about a third of your health or so. If you fought 2 battles in a row, you'd probably still win, but you would be really hurt.
Well, it doesn't look like the balance is there right now, because you're
Yeah, it
taking
is.
more damage.
I fought 2 monsters in a row.
Right. Oh, did you? Okay, fine. All right.
And I have about a third of my health left, so I would not want to fight another battle right now.
All right, let's see. Best way to level certain combat skills in Quest for Glory 4 was to pull the difficulty slider all the way down while leaving strategy mode on, then get in combat with a buddy, okay, and leave an eraser on the jump key on my keyboard. The buddy got extremely few hits off while your skills went up and up. Now there's creative thinking. I will give you that. And that was actually one of the testing techniques for the
QA
players.
department did stuff like that.
They would put things on their keys and let the keys run all on. Yes. Well, we have made it back.
This is really nice music.
Have you brought the seed I request?
And when people ask you a question, there's usually a relatively short time limit to answer yes or no.
Give
You
the
really
seed to me. You drop the seed into the dryad's limbs. Now this will boldly grow.
boldly grow where none has grown before. You gotta say it right.
All right, fine. It's because heed my words, friend of the forest, and heed them well. Friend, you must know that there is an evil in this valley which perverts the ways of nature. The prophecy says that a hero will bring a young human from out of this darkness. If you are the one to accomplish this task, there is a potion to break enchantments which you must have the healer make. You must gather these ingredients.
So, quick, take out your notepad.
Flowers from Arana's bees. Okay, got that one.
We didn't
We
pick
didn't
the
get
flowers.
it, but we know where to
ate a
get
fruit.
it.
Yeah.
We know how to do that. Green fir.
Ooh,
Well,
know
we
where
know where to find that. Yeah, fairy dust.
Interesting. Don't...
We don't know where to.
For
but
sure.
We got a thing. A magic acorn. That one might be trickier. And flying water. Farewell, friend. I must return to my concentration. May the force forever surround you. She's a very old druid.
You see an acorn fall slowly to the ground.
There we go.
I was about to ask her about that. I thought she would say something like, I will give you a start with this acorn.
She just kind of throws it at you. Okay.
Okay. There is one magic acorn in our inventory.
Now I'm wondering, says Arlo, what feminist story Lori had in store for the paladin that taught Rakesh the way of the paladin, if she was thinking of this coming from the Arab world all of this time. Well, I was thinking that was the origin of paladins, but not necessarily on this world. But it seems reasonable to have it come from somewhere in Iraqian areas, Iranian, Persian background. No, you can't get there from here. That was...
Oh, I didn't mean to leave. Oh, I did.
You
Okay.
Wall in the buildings of Spielberg can be seen over the heavy brush.
Oh, good. We have our orientation. We're at the...
Old target leans against the town wall. On the subject of paladins, the Rusalka moment in 4 was the highlight of the series for me, but was actually surpassed by the conversation between Thomas and Hero U and a certain ghost. Sometimes stories about people falling just shy of the mark are more interesting than stories of people who walk the walk and stick the landing. Interesting, true. Yes.
We're not very good at throwing still.
We're still not good? Wow.
Oh,
well, what should we be? I mean, look at our stats. What's the average stat at that point?
Okay, so strength is up to 44, vitality is 47. That's pretty good. Open use needs some work. Parry needs a lot of use. I haven't been parrying.
Yeah, that's what I was.
I thought parry comes up automatically, but maybe not.
No, it doesn't look
like it. Dodge. I think dodge was a waste because I don't think actually fighters use dodge.
Well, clearly they use it, but you don't have any. You don't have any help.
Didn't type fast enough.
That's all right.
I was trying to look.
Look at water. Water seems to be trying to fly as it leaps from the mountain above.
Huh, that's interestingly phrased. What do they mean by that?
And Yash says, I found that training the defensive skills with the weapon master was the most cost effective. Ah, yes. Since I'd only be using thrust in combat, I was already raising it. True, that's a good point. When we haven't really made use of that weapon master, of course we need to make more money for one thing. We haven't been doing our daily muck out the stables job and things like that.
It's only day 4.
I know. We have a ways to go. Yes, we're certainly not doing this the fast way. All right, so what do you have in inventory? We have one empty flask in inventory.
Where did we get that from?
Our healing potion that we took.
Ah!
So, why did you decide to switch it to Blue Flame for Quest for Glory 3? Because the artists did it. We did not have consistency between art. So it was nothing to do with planning. It had everything to do with who was doing the art. Gonna save game?
Mm-hmm.
Good for you. Like how the hero's pants are green in Quest for Glory 3 and blue in Quest for Glory 4.
Well, either he occasionally changes his clothes, or they're discolored because he didn't change his clothes.
There we go.
Either way, they wouldn't be the same.
Yeah, clearly, after a while,
Okay, do we want to deal with the water or with the door?
I think we deal with the water. I mean, we have no reason to...
Okay, so it said that...
Haha, it became like lightsabers. Everybody gets a color. I like the theory of lightsabers, that you had to find the right kyber crystal. And, when you watch the Clone Wars cartoon series, one of the last seasons has the younglings going to try to find the Kyber crystal for their and make their first lightsaber. It's a great story, and it makes perfect sense. And if you played Star Wars: The Old Republic, you made your first lightsaber in that game too. So.
And it was mighty fun.
Yeah.
That was a good game.
The water seems to be trying to fly as it leaps from the mountain above.
Okay, so that's significant, maybe, because we're looking for flying water, and, well, that doesn't make any sense, but, well, this water's trying to fly, so what the heck? Oh, we can't go any farther closer than that. Fill flask. Fill an empty flask with crystal clear water from the waterfall. Well, that's nice. And it says 1 flask of water. Might be the right water, might not. Who knows?
Since we're discussing internationalities of paladins, a question. Do you think all paladin swords are basically broadswords like you see for Rakish, the idiot, or do they have other shapes? And the answer is yes. I believe that the sword is basically whatever you're used to most. And so therefore...
I can't do that, of
we
course.
will definitely do something in...
maybe we can't do anything here until we have a reason to.
Could be. In a Feo's game, we have a very different paladin. And yes, what you're used to as a weapon affects what your glowing weapon will be. The hollow log looks somberly back with its single giant eye, and you know that nothing is going to be gained by investigating this gaunt relic of a more vertical past.
That text was changed at some point because this was one of the most inquired about objects in the game. If there is a hollow log in an adventure game, it must be important.
Yeah.
And to us, it is important. It's a landmark.
Yes.
And unfortunately, that's all you can do with it.
Yeah, that's all it is. And we tried to actually give you some information about, yes, that to know that, yes. Let's see. I have now visions of someone basically dual sword dancing with curved blades, both aflame. Yeah, that can happen, but you'd have to be, pretty skilled with the swords before you became this. Whichever Quest for Glory 4 artist designer thought to make the dialogues with the text and background look like gravestones is the absolute king queen in my eyes, and that would be our art director, Mark Hudgens. And I've played a lot of different games and have never seen something so iconic and cool anywhere else.
Hey.
And I like the idea of a thief turned paladin sticking it with a dagger. Yeah, but the problem with the dagger is you really have to get too close. The advantage of a broadsword or a long sword or the two-handed, bastard swords and things like that is that you got to keep a distance from that person that's there.
Yeah, but in Star Wars, Obi-Wan Kenobi talks about the blaster as, just a weapon anyone can use, but the lightsaber, is, because you have to fight up close is the...
I see.
It didn't actually make a lot of sense. Okay, so the question is... do we have a quest log in this? I don't think so.
No, we don't.
So really no way to remember other than remembering what all these things are that we're supposed to be doing. But we can head back up the road. And... I'm not. That was all designed to not have you move up to the door after knocking, but I don't know. It's too tight. Should have been more flexible.
You say to the healer, I bent to visit the Dryad of the Woods. She gave me a magic acorn and told me the formula for a potion to dispel enchantments.
Oh, did she, dearie?
Promise in the future. Potion will cost you.
Yeah, it's 4 gold for a healing potion. That's awfully darn expensive. Undead unguent, 100 silvers.
Yeah, we're going to have to work for that.
Yikes. So it's a good thing we didn't go visit Baba Yaga, because we went
A
to
quest log in a Quest for Glory game is a novel idea. Yeah. We needed it, but we didn't know about it at the time. Yes. Yes, Thomas probably in the future will have to, get a better weapon. And there's the undead unwood.
Oh, so we don't make that. I thought we did. Let's get that.
No, the dispel potion's the one we wanted.
Yeah, I know, but the undead unguent.
All right. Fairy dust, green fur, the flowers, magic acorn, flying water. All right.
So
MacGyver was a paladin? I used to be annoyed at how expensive these potions are. I've come for full circle, even if the creators are annoyed by it by now. Well, yes.
I'm not annoyed by it. I just don't remember how we expected players to be able to recover from their wounds. If you couldn't do it by resting was too slow, and the healing potions are too expensive.
It's like MacGyver's Swiss Army knife. It solves puzzles. That's a useful thing to have. As long as it doesn't slit throats, yeah. MacGyver as a paladin? And Arlo says MacGyver would have to be a wizard. And Benzomni Ben says hi. Oh, welcome. You had to be careful and run from a lot of fights or sneak, yes. And from what I saw, this slow play, I think it should be called best play. Well, I'm not sure it's the best possible play. The man has the muscles of a trained athlete and is apparently quite skilled with a sword. Hey, he looks pretty good in this. I have to say, for a pixel guy, he's one of the better looking ones.
That looks dangerous to address it. You need to be better with the keyboard than I am.
What are you trying to do?
I'm trying to get close to him so I can address him to his face.
Sword is the finest of all weapons. It requires an equal measure of skill and strength. Well, that's just the reason Quest for Glory has always been a long stretch for me. I basically never bought potions. I don't think I've ever completed the game in less than 7 in-day games, and I would typically take a week or so of real-world time to play through each game. The reason I can't play it anymore now that I'm adult, it was more like having to play through the entire summer vacation. Yeah, I'm sure. And Benzum says, I hope you're okay, Bori. Well, he's getting better in theory. He does have that Will Riker. That was, yes. I was thinking, he looks like Will Riker, but I wasn't going to say it. But yeah, Type walk, bro, says Arlo. And that was, of course, the right answer. Yes. All right, let's. I salute you. On guard, he shouts, and the lesson begins. Are you really doing that? Okay.
Doesn't look like it.
No. Why would you want to do that? Okay, fine.
Okay, so it's actually got all the moves.
Oh, you're using the keyboard to move?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. All right. Quest for Glory 1 is probably the most realistic.
I'm dodging every time right after he hits me.
Oh, yeah, good timing. Yes, you're so exhausted that everything hurts. All right.
Did we take damage doing that?
Beware, yes, he gives you actual advice.
Okay.
He isn't nearly as obnoxious in this as we made him in the books. In the book, we made him about
total jerk,
arrogant total jerk, and here he's actually kind of good.
What's he say?
Be more aware of the angle with which your weapon approaches your opponent. The thrust bites quick and deep, but the swing will do more damage if it connects. Yes.
Oh.
All right. So let's see.
Show me again. I would not be adverse. That should have been averse. I would not be averse to another go-round. I have had fans come in and complain about adverse there.
Well, it's a wonder that that all the spelling errors got corrected.
There aren't very many.
Oh.
There aren't very many, but there are some minor errors like that. There was
we have
stamina.
0 stamina points. We really
At least
need
it didn't
to
take our health down.
No, we need to rest. All right. Do we have enough to do the stable?
Let's see what happens after you rest.
You might be hungry too. You might need to go to the inn. Yeah, 2 points of stamina, so.
Okay, now it gave me that. So I was thinking that, vaguely remembering that there was a restriction on the number of times you can rest. And I rested 3 times in a row and was surprised and I thought that was the limit. I was surprised to say I could rest a 4th time. Well, the answer is my stamina was not down that far. So now that my stamina is low, it will allow me to continually rest.
All right, so let's see.
And of course, I believe we have it set up so if you're running all the time, which is why I wasn't running all the time.
Quest for Glory 1 is probably the most realistic economy since a lot of what you want to buy is fairly expensive and effort is necessary to get the funds. By comparison, the others all basically dump you with almost enough money at the start, except Dragonfire. And the drachma seems to have suffered from inflation. I think they mentioned the fact in Dinar Zahad in the Quest for Glory 2 remake. Well, yeah, each time we tried to say, what is the challenge for the player? And this game, you had to spend most of the game just trying to survive and trying to get the healing potions and things like that to survive. So therefore, it's we didn't need to do that again. We didn't think. We thought once was enough. And Brainiac says, you need David Xanatos, obviously.
So there's a terrific blog that I'll link on role-playing games. The CRPG Addict. I should get the actual link.
Did not have a full beard. And where did the nickname Sorty Lordy come from out of universe? I know Yorick uses it in the game, but I'm curious who came up among the creators. I just was doing it with, I would have been doing it with Yorick. As I came up with it, I worked at how each character spoke. And once you get how they speak, the words come from them, really, because that's how he spoke.
Anyway, Chester, who does the CRPG Addict, has talked about balance in, good economies. And his ideal of good economy is that you should also kind of feel like you never quite have enough for all the things you need. Says if things come easy, if you can just go to the store and buy all your equipment, then that takes away the game. But if you have to really go out there and, fight a lot of battles and find chests and so on in order to get money to keep yourself going, then he thinks that makes it more challenging and intriguing game. So by the end of the game, it's okay to be rich. But as you're going along, you should always feel a little bit short and always have something that is a goal that you can't quite afford.
So Arlo says, isn't adverse still correct? And Kid says, adverse is what Zuckerberg wants us to live in. Okay, we'll go with that one. Yes, that's a 4 thumbs up. Yeah, 4 thumbs up for that one. Okay, if you speak a language as a native, you're not doing it correct grammar-wise. Okay, yeah, if you speak a language as a native, you're probably not necessarily having correct grammar, yeah, because you're speaking it, yeah. And Brainiac gives the actual distinction between adverse and averse, yes. I mean, we talk about overcoming adversity, yes. So I had no problem with the difference between the two things, yes.
the Adventurers Guild, advgamer.blogspot.com, is an interesting one because Trickster was the one who started it, and he ran this for several years, retrospectively playing through all the old adventure games, and eventually it just became too much for him. And it might have died there, but instead, the regular visitors to the site asked if they could contribute guest retro reviews and retro walkthroughs. And so he said sure, and eventually let them take over the site. So there's now a group of people that are running Adventurers Guild, whereas Chet is still doing the RPG Addict by himself.
And let's see. Challenge versus grind is a very delicate balancing act. Yes, and that is so true. And we have to do it in our imagination because we can't actually play the games ever to actually get that physically balanced, which is what a strategy game tends to do well. They tend to be able to test out their premises and that go through the.
Yeah, they generally have less variety in scenes and backgrounds, animations, and so on. And the focus is instead on the strategy aspects. And so they will get the basic game running, and they'll build simulators and so on. And
that's how SimCity was built.
Really work on getting them balanced.
And Myers.
Sid Meier's.
Sid Meier's did that. That was his technique of testing everything thoroughly. And we never had that leisure. So ours is all imagination of what we feel like things should be. And hoping, for God's sake, that
crossing our fingers, hope this will balance. But I did do, as I said, a few spreadsheets, mostly early on, and then later on, it's just mostly, hearing from our playtest, our QA department that things weren't working right, and then we'd fix things. But.
And we would do that for the monsters because you had the spreadsheet for the monsters and the monster mark system to try to balance things out that way.
Which was out of a article that was in White Dwarf number 1 and 2, White Dwarf magazine. This inspired me.
Yep.
Okay.
Arlo's there. I will say that my favorite transition is probably from 1 to 2 because of the continuity. It makes sense that since you became a hero in the first one, you have all this cash in 2. What I don't like is the device where you're forced to start fresh in each game as if your previous accomplishments didn't account for anything, such as in Space Quest 2, where society just stops appreciating your heroism from the first game. It's also why I liked about Conquest of Camelot, where you're respected as a king. I certainly...
When you're in Camelot, but...
Basically, nobody knows when you travel to the Middle East on your own. That's all reasonable. This is basically... Arlo, that was exactly the way we felt about certain games that we had played in the past. We did not like that, the games that are supposed to be almost sequels to it, same character, lost everything or it had you had to start from the beginning again.
But Space Quest had a particular challenge because your character is Roger Wilco's basically a janitor in space. And they decided to go with something similar for their space venture, modern version of it. And the idea is that he is kind of the bottom of society, and they get to poke fun at the player character because of that. So if he went from that to being a heroic, successful, beloved character. Then first of all, it would take away challenge, and second, it wouldn't be the same character.
Yeah.
So they would no longer be doing Space Quest if they had made him heroic in Game 2.
So even if the janitor saves the whole galaxy, no one would acknowledge him.
Yeah, because
But you can play with that because you can have. I'm the greatest here. I should be and it's just your janitor. You can actually have the game reference then, and then it isn't so out of context if you do it that way. So yeah.
When you talk about game companies, you talk about World of Warcraft. If you know anything about it, then you would have maybe heard the name Mike Morhaime somewhere, and so you think, okay, World of Warcraft is Mike Morhaime, but it isn't. It's 1,000 people. You talk about Sierra, and you look at Ken Williams, and a lot of people think of Ken Williams as the face of Sierra, and without Ken Williams, there would not have been a Sierra. He's very important. But the games were made by the people in the trenches.
Yep. Turning around your mouse pad.
My upside down
yes,
Red Dragon
so
mouse
it's
pad.
no longer upside down, just because.
I had it upside down for a reason, but it doesn't need to be.
Okay, fine.
The reason is because I use that for scanning checks and things. So I need it as the neutral part of the surface.
Okay. Interesting.
Anyway, so yeah. A little distraction aside, Ken Williams, yeah, so so even us, if you look at Quest for Glory and you say Corey and Laurie Cole, well, first of all, that overemphasizes the Corey Cole part of it because Laurie's, 80 to 90% of the games at least.
Depending upon the game.
Yeah, on most of them, Laurie did most of the design, pretty much all the writing. And I may have contributed some puzzles and maybe some flavor text.
And meeps. That immortal dialogue.
Yep. But it's all about the team, and the team makes the game. So, the generals get all the glory, the privates do the work.
Yeah. All right.
So that's what happens to Roger Wilco. Is nobody would admit that it was the janitor that saved the galaxy. So, therefore, it's the head of his janitor corporation or something.
Yeah, it makes a certain for Space Quest. Yes, so I get it, yeah.
So, hard for him to go on.
Right, and it also matches real life. No one cares about heroes once they stop being useful. Yeah! Mm-hmm.
Terry Pratchett wrote a wonderful graphic novel on that. Was it originally a graphic novel, or was it originally?
It was really a short novella with illustrations.
Okay.
The Last Hero.
Called The Last Hero?
Yes, I really wish I knew where our book was. I think we've lost the real book.
No!
Because it's a beautiful book. Beautiful illustrations. Perfect for it. And I have no idea what happened to it.
The Last Hero.
Okay. Discworld Fable.
There's a video about it.
Oh, okay.
I'm looking for an image.
Image.
There's one. Okay. Yes. Terry Pratchett, The Last Hero, a Discworld Fable, illustrated by Paul Kidby. He's calling Discworld Fable because he's kind of saying this is kind of a,
It's not a real book.
It's an imagination of where the world would, where his world's going.
It fits in
and it clearly fits in the world, but it's sort of off to the side. But it is all about Cohen the Barbarian, and his barbarian friends as they become too old to be adventurers.
Yes. So it's actually a great story, and it really helps to have the context of the Discworld series. But the nice thing about Terry Pratchett's books is they're all very meaningful. They aren't one-off joke books. They're all...
Wow, there's an alternative cover. I haven't seen this one.
Including
16 pages of all new illustrations.
We didn't have that version.
So this one is based on Munch's The Scream.
Yeah, and that's what Rincewind and that sort of thing. But Terry Pratchett is, of course, a must-read as far as we're concerned. So
he's a fantasy god. What else can I say?
Yeah. So if you haven't read him, make sure you start to pick up some of those books.
And some people might say he's dead, but
he'll never know.
But that's more the reason why he's a god.
Okay.
Okay.
So let's see. So that was the sidetrack.
We're pretty much caught up.
Oh.
Yes, Cohen the Barbarian.
Uh-huh.
Great, mixing stereotypes is always fun.
Yes, and Cohen was in his first book that actually got published in the Discworld series, and this is 20 years later, and there's also a movie out there. If you look on the internet, somebody made a movie about Conan the Barbarian. I can't remember what it's called. Somebody out there might remember. But it's on YouTube, so you can watch it.
And little known fact that had my father not changed his name as a teenager, I would be a Cohen.
Yeah, we would have been the Cohens.
And then she'd be Laurie Cohen, Corey and Laurie Cohen.
Yeah, but we're not.
And I've been told that as a result of that even though I am not technically Jewish, that I would be allowed to emigrate to Israel. I could
just by basis of your name?
Yes, I could become an Israel citizen because my ancestry is from the Cohens.
Cool. All right, there we go. Somebody gave the link. It's if that's all right, to go to that link so I can see what it was. I was so confused for a moment because I hear Conan. Yes.
Whose name is legend.
Ah.
Let's tell us truly. Hot water, good dentistry, and soft lavatory paper.
If you could make that out.
Whose name is legend. Let's tell us truly. Hot water, good dentistry,
Good dentistry.
and soft lavatory paper.
Lavatory paper. Soft lavatory.
Oh, I thought it was on soft, lovely bed.
No, soft lavatory paper. So there we go.
Our guest.
We don't need to read it.
I was trying to see if somebody had the text down here.
No.
Show transcript.
Oh, show transcript. Can they get? Does that actually work?
Whose name
No.
is
Go
legend.
subtitles. CC.
Closed caption.
Closed caption. Yes. There we go.
Let's tell us truly. Hot water, good dentistry, and soft lavatory paper.
Gravity vectors. Soft gravity.
Soft gravity vectors. That's what we all need.
Yes.
If only we had more soft gravity vectors.
That's it. Yep.
The transcript is over here, actually.
His opinion on what is best in life makes more sense than Conan, if you ask me. Yeah. I see. Yes, and the soft gravity vector. Now we all know. Yes, and yes, Terry Pratchett's daughter Rihanna is a pretty well-known writer for games. So yeah.
Yeah, she's made quite a name and career for herself. Rihanna Pratchett.
Okay, so yes, that was a good aside here. We'll always be happy to
Talk about Terry Pratchett.
talk about Terry Pratchett, yes, and advertise and make sure you guys get a chance to realize what are some real serious influences on the games that we wrote. Of course, Terry Pratchett's books were not as much of an influence, but certainly we appreciate where they're going.
Yeah, Laurie's cousin pretty much read every new fantasy novel and probably science fiction that came out. And had been reading The Color of Magic when it first came out.
And gave us
Gave it to us. And we said, hey, this is pretty good.
It was okay. It was okay.
It was pretty good. And as the series went along, Pratchett came into his voice, and each successive one is just tour de force. Men at Arms is amazing. What was the first to the second Witches, the one that I liked.
What is the name of that? The Weird Sisters.
Weird Sisters.
Weird Sisters, which is the parody of Macbeth. So, all hail Sir Terry. Yes. And love the City Watch series. Yes. Okay. Small Gods. Yes. Everybody can have a favorite, and so we will. And because Corey is so sick, I think this is a good place to actually
Call
say
it a-
call it an evening, and we'll.
And we just had a lesson.
And we just had a lesson. Did we
Well, we should go
did
to
we stable? Did we do the stable?
We did the stable.
All right. Yes, we should go to the town first.
And I have trouble getting this to work right.
Well, please get a sip of drink, Corey. Yeah, well, that's what he sounds like. He's got some.
I've been drinking. It's I
Uh-oh.
need a cough drop probably. It is nighttime at the castle.
Can we get out of here?
We can certainly get over to the stable.
I know, but we need food. Oh, well.
We're not that hungry.
Ah, sorry, the Hog Father. Yes, I have the signed Hog Watch hardback on my. Yeah, great.
It's not here, but we can go inside and sleep.
It's dirty. No, we just cleaned it.
We just cleaned it.
Okay, fine. Thanks for another enjoyable stream. Feel better soon. Or hydrate and rest. We'll try. Ah, there. We cleaned up. And can you save the game here?
Well, eventually, after he makes us work
Ray,
again.
wake as the sun begins to rise. You're starving, though. It is a rude awakening,
How
however.
are you saying we're starving?
'Cause
Hasn't given me a single warning
I
about
know, I
that. It
know.
warns you when you're hungry.
I know, but you did all that exercise. You should be.
We have rations and it automatically uses up
Okay,
your
fine.
rations.
All right. Thanks for the stream. Yes, get well soon. We will try, and then we will turn it off as soon as we get done with the. Need to be in good shape for Adventure Con. Yes, indeed. We'll have to do exercises and get our muscles up for it.
We have a really exciting, busy year planned, and we're going on a couple of long vacations, which we've not really ever done, and certainly not for a long, long time.
Arlo says, I haven't read The Last Hero, but I did see Michael Moore's documentary of how the 9/11 first responders were treated. Sad. That's where the ego is going all this time. Thanks for the stream. Have a good rest of the weekend, everybody. Yes, everybody, have a good weekend. Have a good week. And we'll see you in 2. So, have fun.
And somewhere in between, I'll read the manual and find out which buttons are the parry and...
Can't wait to hear about your vacations. It's going to be a while before we have those vacations. So, looking forward to seeing the photographs from Lori on your upcoming trips. Yeah, that's the whole point. I've got a camera, and I know how to use it.
Oh, yes. She's scary. She's dangerous.
Yes, and we will do that. So, at any rate, thank you all once again, and we'll see you next time. Bye-bye.
See you in 2 weeks.
Ta-ta.
I held up 3 fingers.
You did. Well,
2
that's
weeks.
2 weeks. Victory for everybody.
Victory for the stream.
Ta-ta. Okay. She just threatened to shoot us. Oh, no.
What?